Action-packed 70 minutes for possession of this precious trophy. Hello and you're very welcome to the programme on Hurling's big day. Yes, after today's All-Ireland Hurling final, the Liam McCarthy Cup will be heading either to Limerick for the first time since 1973 or to Wexford for the first time since 1968. Well, by now that issue is well and truly decided, and tonight here on the programme we'll be looking back on that final, we'll be analysing the match, and we'll be joining the new All-Ireland champions in their celebrations, and indeed we'll be hearing from the losers too. We'll be getting the views of the panel. Tonight we have with us, as usual, Tomás Mulcahy and Cyril Farrell. Now later on they'll be looking in detail at today's match, and we'll be finding out who their choice of man of the match is. We'll be hearing your views as well. Lots of callers already coming through to us on our phone lines, and those numbers are 1850 851 851. That's the number to ring if you're calling from inside the Republic. But if you're calling from Northern Ireland, that number is 0800 973 073. Well, OK, then let's begin the story of this year's most colourful of All-Ireland pairings, as the supporters of Limerick and Wexford came together around Dublin for the first time in over 70 years. Well, whatever the outcome of today's match, it was always going to be one that the fans would relish. That is, the fans who were lucky enough to get tickets. Well, all approach roads from Limerick and Wexford were jammed with supporters from mid-morning, all hoping to see their side take Liam McCarthy home. Well, so much to talk about and to get through here on the programme tonight, but the main thing, of course, is that match itself. The champions of Munster against the champions of Leinster. The Wexford team's victory banquet in Malahide, and being enjoyed also by their captain, Martin Storey. So then for Wexford, the long wait is over. Liam McCarthy is heading back Slaney side, as Ger said, for the first time since 1968. Those famous film clips of Tony Doran leaping for joy, well, they won't exactly be forgotten, but at least now can be added to when we talk about Wexford hurling. While celebrations in the county will go on, you can be certain, for a very long time, but in fact they began much closer to us here in Montrose earlier this evening, as some of the jubilant supporters made their way out through Stillorgan.
Not the better of it yet. It was terrific. Terrific.
I came all the way from Australia to watch this match. That's true.
And what did you think of it?
Oh, it was brilliant. Fantastic.
People wrote us off and said we were dead. But as we said today, like, we were the bridesmaids, but today we got married.
Tell me this. You had an interest in today's, big interest in today's.
Very big interest in today. My main interest today was the fact that my brother was the Wexford captain. And we hope from the very start, like, that when we got through the Offaly match that we kind of knew that we'd take the All-Ireland. We found it very hard for anyone to stop us, we thought.
We started Wednesday morning at 12 o'clock in Buffer's Alley, Tony Doran's country. She came out of Mr. John Whelan's yard at 12 o'clock. We painted her up on Wednesday night, and we got her here today, the whole way from Wexford. And she's flying. We're heading back now, she's really flying.
Tell me, what did you think of the match today?
Unbelievable. Still can't believe they won it. It was unnatural.
What was the best part of it?
Tom Dempsey putting the ball in the back of the net. Joe Quaid picking it over.
Yes, Herbie might have made it up from Wexford. Will it ever make it home is the question. Yes, happy Wexford people, just up the road from us here a little bit earlier on. Well, not everyone, of course, was lucky enough to get to the match today, but I'm sure they enjoyed watching it on television nonetheless in hurling heartlands like Gorey, from where Helen McInerney reports.
Here in Gorey tonight, celebrations have begun for a victory that the people have waited for 28 years. In towns and villages throughout the county, the dancing has started at the crossroads. The atmosphere was electric as the Wexford supporters, lucky enough to get tickets to the match, returned home. But earlier in the day it was a very different story, and as the final seconds ticked away, Wexford were ahead by only the narrowest of margins. And when the final whistle blew, the waiting was all over.
The minute they put us one man down, that made us twice as determined, and I knew we were going to win.
There'd be no panic, no depression, no sickness, never again.
But what of the disappointment of not securing a ticket for Croke Park?
Me, Dublin, everywhere I tried. Everywhere.
Like gold dust.
Like gold dust.
Like gold dust.
Couldn't get them at
Doesn't
all.
make any difference now anywhere, the one.
Well, now, just a moment ago, we saw the victorious Wexford team as they began the official celebrations at their banquet. Earlier on, they arrived at the Grand Hotel in Malahide to the cheers of those Wexford supporters who had been cute enough to find out where it was all taking place. Ger Canning had it sussed out as well.
What have you been doing since the final finished?
Went for a couple of pints, stand up, trying to take it all in now at the moment as well. We're really trying to do.
Sum up your feelings after a terrific day.
Unbelievable. I mean, for me personally, after 11 years and a Bible dream come true, I can't describe it. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Wexford are only hurling champions 1996. That is us.
It's like destiny. We won it with 14 men. So I'd say it was the first team in hurling to win it with 14 men for I don't know how long.
Well, we'll be back again with Ger Canning and with Marty Morrissey to enjoy the Wexford celebrations. That's in about 15 minutes' time. Well, the other side of the coin sees Limerick coming to grips with their second All-Ireland defeat in 3 years. It, of course, is another bitter pill to swallow, and watching them take their medicine was our reporter Damien Tiernan in an area that's provided the nucleus of the Limerick team.
With 3 players on the starting 15, Gary Kirby, Kieran Carey and Barry Foley, supporters here in Patrickswell are feeling the pain of defeat more than most. The village, as you can see, is still nearly deserted, but fans have started coming home and the post-mortems have already begun.
They hadn't been looking today. They had it up to date.
A lot of wides?
Yeah, a lot of wides, a lot of pressure, I'd say.
You're Barry Foley's sister. How do you think you played?
Very well. I'm proud of you, Barry. Oh, they're on the height of depression. They'll never get over this. There was a big build-up. There was a huge build-up to it. But they'll just have to accept it now, and that's all they can do.
Okay, you win some and lose some. No, but we're still very disappointed that we lost the year before last and lost this year.
Is it worse than 2 years ago?
It is, yeah.
They lost it again. And you're going to lose. And it won't happen again because they're gone now for a good few years. And it's a sad, sad story.
Well, a sad, sad story indeed. Well, earlier we saw the Limerick manager, Tom Ryan, pay gracious tribute to the Wexford team. The Burlington Hotel are hosts to the Limerick men this evening, and that's where Jim Carney went in search of a reaction from the Limerick players.
And welcome to the Burlington, where you can almost reach out and touch the trauma that all Limerick people are feeling here tonight after losing 2 All-Ireland finals in 3 years. But like the gentlemen they are, very sportingly, Joe Quaid and Stephen McDonagh have joined us to talk about the match. Both of them were outstanding today, but in a losing cause. Joe Quaid, 5 to 6 hours after the game, how did it go wrong?
It's very hard to describe it at the moment. We are feeling devastated. You know, we don't really know where it went wrong, and I suppose at the end of the day, no one will really ever find out. We came up here with the best intentions to win the match. Things didn't happen for us on the day, so all we can do is try and get back up here again.
Joe, you were called on again today to make 2 more brilliant saves. There must have been a lot of pressure, judging by the fact that you had to make those saves.
I don't remember too much about him, Jim. I think one was in the first half. I couldn't really tell you who it was from. The goal in the first half, I was kind of disappointed with it. I just got caught on the wrong foot. But it's the saves, that's what I'm there for, that's my job. And every fella goes out in the day to do his job, whatever he's called on to do.
Stephen McDonagh, you played a great game at the back, but how did it look to you, what was happening up the field, where it was going wrong?
I suppose it's hard to say, really, Jim. You know, I thought maybe we crowded a small bit up front, but you know, you can be critical at times like this, and I don't think that's fair. Like, you know, everybody's in it together, the team, the panel, and the management, and at this time, like, it's very difficult to say what the problem was. You know, I felt myself, you know, we weren't good enough, and we just didn't win it. That's it.
Well, thank you, Jim. Never the best of assignments, having to chase a losing side in the All-Ireland final. Well, the Liam McCarthy Cup is sitting in the Grand Hotel in Malahide this evening in the proud possession of a host of Wexford players, mentors and fans, and that's where we'll be very shortly. Now, amongst other business, we'll be presenting this splendid Waterford Crystal Trophy to the Sunday game man of the match. All of that is coming up shortly. Now, don't forget that you can share your views with us by ringing 1850 851 851. Or, if you're calling from up north, that number is 0800 973 073. So then, join us again in a few moments. I'll be getting the views of Tomás Mulcahy and Cyril Farrell before we join the victors' camp in Malahide for the Wexford team in Malahide. And of course, we'll also be naming our man of the match from this year's All-Ireland hurling final. But right now, it's time to get the views of our Sunday game panellists, Cyril Farrell and Tomás Mulcahy. Now, gentlemen, just ahead of that, before I get your views in it, let me share some views with you. Heaps of congratulations, obviously, to the Wexford team. They come from Joe Lawless in Mayo, from Jim McBride, County Leitrim, Maureen Sweeney, Castleknock, Evelyn Fitzpatrick, Galway, who says, however, that she thought Limerick were not the same team that won the Munster Championship because their hearts were not in it. Sister Rose Fowley rings in from Dunleary to congratulate Wexford. John Heenahan, aged 12, from Wexford, wants to congratulate his fellow countymen. David O'Brien from Cork says that he can't understand why the GA are going to change the format next year. It's been one of the best years in hurling. If it's not broken, if it's not, don't fix it if it's not broken, is what he says. And Seamus O'Dowd, who's aged 10 from Sligo, says it was the best game that he has ever seen. Now, Cyril Farrell, it may not have been the best game we've ever seen, but a good wholehearted game of hurling nonetheless.
Oh, it was a great game, Michael. It was the best game in the last 20 years for Wexford, there's no doubt about that. And like they had 14 heroes wound up on the pitch and their sideline as well. Like, they'll be very, very happy tonight. You know, you'll have to feel sad for Limerick as well. It's their second final to lose in the past 3 years, and it's tough on them. But like, you couldn't take away from Wexford's win. Their will to win, their spirit would not be quenched. To me, that was the big difference. It just couldn't be contained. It wasn't that they were scoring and everything, you know, but they were just pointed away the whole time, and they were willing to fight to the bitter end. And like, you know, the last done by Liam Dunn, to me, the run by Liam Dunn epitomised the spirit that was in the team.
Well, I suppose, Tomás, like, Limerick will be asking themselves this evening how they managed to lose 2 All-Irelands in 3 years. I mean, that's just the way it goes, unfortunately, sometimes. PJ Ruddy in Leixlip, County Kildare, is wondering how they lost with the extra man. He felt that there was mistakes made in the Limerick management. He says they didn't put the extra man in where they should have put him in, into the full forward line. This has to be a factor in it, I suppose.
Yes, I suppose that talk will come up over the next couple of days, Michael, but it's easy to be wise after the match, and when the match is going on, that's the time you have to make the key decisions, and unfortunately today, from Limerick's point of view, they went against them, you know, and I mean, it was great to hear Tom Ryan afterwards. I mean, he puts his hand up and straight away and he says Wexford were the better team on the day, and I mean, you have to have great admiration for Wexford the way they played today.
Sure. OK, gentlemen, let's look at various aspects then of today's All-Ireland final. And I suppose we'll start from a Wexford point of view, Cyril, and their winning of the match and how they won it. Earlier on in the game, Limerick were going well. I mean, it was 5 points to 1, I think, at one stage.
Yeah, Wexford got the first score. Larry Murphy got a great score, and I felt here he's going to have a fantastic game today. And the next 5 scores came from Limerick. And then Wexford came back into the game. Larry Murphy picked up a score. They got 1 or 2 points, and then Tom Dempsey got a goal off a breaking ball. Great ground shot. Joe Quaid is probably going the wrong way, and they're up a point. And, you know, the younger fella started coming into the game. Gary Laffin had a very good game. He caused trouble all day. High ball going in. He was strong. He had both sides left and right. Now, Limerick has just got a score here. Watch this puck out from Joe Quaid. Down deep out in midfield. Now, young Rory McCarthy comes deep from the ball, straight in high. And here Laffin caused a lot of trouble. It bounces around, he gets this ball, turns on his right, and bang over the bar. Now, he was in hard luck, you know, for some great goals, but he was causing trouble all day. Any high ball that went in there, or any ball that went in, the Wexford full forward were very dangerous. And even when young Eamon Scallon was sent off, the 2 inside, Tom Dempsey and Gary Laffin, were still very dangerous.
Sure. Well, Wexford seem to be creating so many chances for themselves. Did the same thing in the Leinster final. In actual fact, we saw Joe Quaid interviewed earlier on there. If it wasn't for Joe Quaid, Limerick would have lost this by more.
Michael, that's the big difference to the last time that Limerick were beaten in the final. Here's a great ball in by Adrian Fenton, a high ball in again. Again, there's more trouble. Watch Laffin underneath. He causes bother again. It's going to break down. He shoves the lead off. Now he gets this ball, does a little bit overcarrying. A fantastic shot here, and a great save by Joe Quaid. Now, most times I had in the back of the net. You know, there's a bit of a knee after this, but like, it's a great watch. You know, he carries a little bit, overcarries, but he bursts his way through on his right side. Maybe his left is a better side. It's a great shot and a great save. And like Joe Quaid, a fantastic save. That should have been in the back of the net. 9 times out of 10 it would have been only for a goalkeeper of the calibre of Joe Quaid. So like, Wexford are well on top and they were creating goal chance. Here's another one now in the second half. Colin Crowe, fantastic game. Good ball in by Guiney. Again, this ball is going to break into Larry Murphy. And he turns, watch it, not on his right, back to his left. Another great shot. Another great save. Now this ball comes out, Laffin is here again and he bangs it over the bar. But yet, like, Wexford could have got 2 goals. They were creating the goal chance, even though they had only 2 men up front.
Superb performances, in fact, by both goalkeepers today, it should be mentioned. Damien Henry had a great game as well for Wexford.
The 2 best goalies in the country were playing today, and like whoever's picking the All-Star team, they're going to have some picking between the 2 of them, because you know, you'd want to have 2 teams really.
Sure, 2 goalkeepers, why not? Now, obviously, a lot of our phone callers were asking about the sending off incident. I mean, including Conor Power, age 16, from Wexford. He said he believes that Eamon Scallon should have been sent off. Did Scala need to go today?
Well, you see, Michael, what really happened was there was a bit of a... No, it wasn't a dirty match, but there was a lot of tension. There was a bit of melee before this, and Pat Hall, to be fair to him, was doing a good job. Now, whoever kind of transgressed the next time around was going to go.
Yeah.
Now, he went to throw the ball in. Now, both the hurlers should be on the ground for this try. The two boys, Stephen McDonough and young Finlander here pulling Eamon Scallon. Now, it's the second pull of Eamon Scallon right across. Like Steve McDonough gets him right there, so he's bound to march there. But like, how often have you seen it? Watch the second pull now. It's the second one that catches McDonough. Well, to be fair to McDonough, he doesn't drop down or anything. But like, he had to go because the referee is actually looking at it. But again, the extra man down to 40. I mean, how often have you seen it? If you're not going to use the extra man properly, you're as well off that the man would stay on. It was tough looking at Eamon Scallon because he's not a dirty player.
Of course he's not. No, that's, I think a lot of people would have a sympathy from him from that point of view. Michael Walsh from Carlow raises an interesting point. He says, is it not true that a player sent off in an All-Ireland final is then suspended from all post-match celebrations?
Michael, that might be the law, the letter law, but it's the spirit of the law. The hurling isn't like that. Like, to be fair to Limerick, they're going to take their beating. And like Eamon Scallon would feel down. He won't feel as bad now once they've won the All-Ireland. Like, and up in Castletown, they'll probably be praising him. Like, you know, but like, you know, the law would say that, the GA rule book, but like the spirit of the law is there, and that's what the GA is. That's what hurling is all about anyway.
I don't think anybody's going to be trying to keep him out of the celebrations tonight, that's for sure. Tomás Mackay, let's look at this game from a Limerick point of view, and I suppose the losing of the match. And the interesting thing, I said to Cyril a moment ago that Limerick had started so well, and indeed they did, like particularly say Barry Foley scoring some great points.
Yes, there was a great baptism of fire for Barry Foley, and if you said before the match that he was going to score 4 points in the first half, people would have said maybe you're crazy, you know, but they started to play as a team, right? And we can see from the clip here a great sideline cut by Mike Hurling, and when the ball breaks around, they were creating space for each other. And here you see a flick from Owen O'Neill into Barry Foley, picks up straight away, and a great score over the bar. And that was great for his confidence, and he went on to play a blinder in the first half. Again, as I said to you, they were playing it very much as a team at that stage. They were backing one another up. Again, here we see TJ Ryan on the ball, gets himself into a bit of trouble, but finds a loose man outside, and when the man comes in to tackle, again in Barry Foley, simple little thing, over the bar. And that was great with Limerick in the first 20 minutes. But all of a sudden, things started to go wrong for them. They started giving away possession, they started losing space in front of the goal, and their defence at the other end the marking was a bit untight.
Barry Foley scores 4 points in play in the first half, gets taken off the field in the end.
Yes, and that was an amazing decision by me at the end of the day. Barry Foley to score 4 points. Maybe he was justified, maybe being switched to the other wing or maybe into corner forward, and maybe created a bit more goal-scoring opportunities, because at that stage Limerick were really struggling. OK, you weren't happy with the way Limerick defended on a couple of occasions, particularly say with the Tom Dempsey goal. Yes, and without being too critical of the Limerick defence, because I mean it's an All-Ireland final, they go out there to play well. Yeah. We see the sideline ball coming again from Rangoini, and in this instance you see it's a full forward that's coming out, and he's nearly 30 yards out from goal, but there's no sign of the man that's marking him. Yeah. He just turns, and it's a rather hopeful high-level ball into the square. But the key thing here, if you've seen it there, was that two Limerick defenders go up on top of the back of the Wexford forward, and Tom Dempsey, he's been around for a long time. Tom actually stands back, and you see here in the replay, see the high ball come in. You see Tom Dempsey there on the left-hand side of the picture, stands back and waits for the ball to break. That's great corner forward play by Tom Dempsey, a great goal for Wexford, but I'm sure the Limerick defenders will be disappointed with that. Yeah, sure. Well, critical score in the match. That was one of the critical incidents. Another critical one, as far as a lot of our phone lines are telling us, is the disallowing of the Limerick goal. Now, Michael O'Connor from Meath wonders about this, can't understand. Owen Silk from Limerick wants to know about it. Eileen Burke from Galway rang in about it. Brendan Ryan, who's aged 11 from County Limerick, wants us to have a look at it again. And Michael Fogarty from Tipperary. They're just an example of some of the phone calls. Why was this goal disallowed? Yeah, it's one for debate at the moment. I asked the same question today in commentary with Ger Canning as well. A lot of people would have said that maybe he was in the square, and you can see it here in the clip. You see a long free from Mike Houlihan. Everybody seems to be outside the square. Even the goalkeeper himself, Damon Fitzhenry, actually comes outside the square. From what we can gather, the referee had blown his whistle well in advance of the ball maybe going into the square. For what I would think that he was giving was a square ball, but to me it wasn't a square ball. When luck is on your side, these things can go for you. Today, unfortunately, from Limerick, it went against them. The ball ended up in the back of the net. And if that was allowed, who knows what would have happened? Sure, who knows indeed. Well, just one of the incidents of the match, which we saw in the interviews, that Limerick, well, they don't have any complaints. They reckon that Wexford are the better team on the day, and that says that, I suppose, in the end. Now, just looking briefly at one or two of the other phone calls, don't forget our panel will be naming the man of the match a little bit later on. Tom Gibbons from Galway rang in to say that he thought that the referee had a great game today and dealt well with the match. Pádraig Muelón from Belfast also had the same view. And Kieran O'Grady from Belfast rang in to say congratulations to Galway
Galway and Tipperary on a brilliant game which surpassed the senior game by far. And right indeed, now just before we join the winners' enclosure in Malahide, let's spare a few minutes for those minors. It was indeed a wonderful curtain raiser, and of course Cyril had more than a passing interest in the match because he saw his Galway lads mount a remarkable comeback in the second half before finally Tipperary tied it up at the end. Let's see it now with Micheál O'Shea.
I used to get a replay because at one stage Tipperary were coasting, and fair dues to the lads in the line, like the movement of Mike Healy from full back out to centre back, and the bringing on of Mark Kearns. Like Mark Kearns was actually up to 2 weeks ago the sub goalie, but he played very well in trial games and he turned the game around. Tipperary would be questioned how they lost that lead, but in hurling 6 or 7 points is not when a goal goes in. And to be fair to Tip, they went to 2 points. You know, they came back from 2 points down in the end, and I think everyone was happy with a draw. Like the replay will be a different ball game, but it was a great game of hurling, and like the skill was fantastic, very high level, very high standard.
Well, Galway still in with the chances that minor one. Of course, the under-21 next Sunday, Cyril. Your lads.
Yeah, my lads. But with Gary laughing the way he's going today, you know, he has both sides. He's very, very strong. And Wexford will have a big following there next Sunday. But we have quite a useful team as well. It's going to be a great occasion.
Yeah, well, we're looking forward to that. But for the moment, we're looking forward to hearing more from the Wexford lads at their victory banquet over in the Grand Hotel in Malahide. Let's go back again and rejoin Ger Canning.
Thanks very much indeed, Michael. Yes! It's a happy place to be tonight. Happy place. I've got Martin Storey with me, of course, the jubilant captain, and Liam Griffin as well. Martin, does your wife know that you were going to say that you got married today?
No, Rosalind didn't know, but I mean, every paper I've read for the last 11 years with regard Wexford hurling, all you ever hear was the bridesmaids this, the bridesmaids that, so I reckon it was a good thing to say at the end of it.
You were so calm before the match. That wasn't a put-on, was it?
No, I mean, Liam had said to us, the build-up was the whole thing. He said it was like Christmas, it was like Santa coming. Once the All-Ireland final started, that was it. It was over. That was the enjoyment over. So he asked us to enjoy it, and we enjoyed every minute of it for the last month.
So having been bridesmaids, now married, next comes the honeymoon.
Well, I mean, I have 3 children at home, so I can't mention anything about honeymoons or anything like that.
What about the homecoming now, though? Oulart the Ballach. Wow, that'll be terrific.
At last somebody got it right. It's Oulart the Ballach. You got it right.
Having got it wrong plenty of times. Let me turn to Liam. Now, Liam, I want to ask you about the family who watched this match, in particular your mother. Where did she watch it?
She watched it in the church in Rossler Harbour. She didn't see it at all. She just prayed all through it. I'd like to say hello to her. She was supposed to be here tonight, but unfortunately she couldn't be here. And thank her for all she's done and all the prayers she put in for the last several months.
It was a terrific performance, full of guts, full of courage, full of commitment. You must be proud.
Of course I'm proud, but I'm absolutely delighted for the people of Wexford and also for all our people overseas. We're all proud of ourselves, and that's the special part. And I'm most delighted for the children of Wexford. They've seen us win in All Ireland, and that'll bear fruit someday.
When you started the hurling classes in Rossler, did you ever think it would end here? 28 years have been banished.
No, I didn't. I didn't believe I'd ever be in this position, but having said that, that's history. But I honestly say I represent all the people who look after children and who look after those teams. I'd like to think that people throughout the country who drive children of 12 and 13 around the country, I have been doing that for long enough, and I'm their representative here tonight, and for that I'm proud myself.
Liam, Martin, congratulations and well done.
Thank you very much, Ger, indeed. They knew in Cork, actually, it was going to be Wexford's year because there was a man called Brother de Barra. He's the principal of Scullone here in Stillorgan, and he was indeed a former principal of North Monastery, CBS in Cork. And he missed only one final in 40 years since 1956, and that was in 1968. That was due to a funeral in County Kerry. Unfortunately, today he was in hospital, and he reckoned Wexford were going to win yet again. So, Brother de Barra, you were right. 2 men who have played a major part in Wexford hurling over the last number of years are the O'Connor brothers, George and John. When you mention hurling and Wexford, you think of George and John. Now, what I really want to know is, who really is the boss?
Well, he is. He is. Oh, we'll give it to him. We'll give it to him.
John, this must be your greatest day in a Wexford jersey.
Oh, it certainly is. It's an amazing day, you know, when the whole occasion and I think the way we won it, it was unfortunate the way Eamon got sent off. And I mean, after that we had 14 more years on the field, and we said we weren't going to lose this one. Not the way it happened. So, I mean, I'd like it for everyone: players, team, mentors, selectors, everybody.
There'll be no going home, as Michael Lester was saying earlier. George, for you to play in the All-Ireland final, to get the call up, and to play after all these years of great service, must have been a special joy.
Yeah, it was a great honour for me today, and but I have to mention Sean Flood. I was very sad for him, and I approached him after our little team talk, and Sean made an emotional plea to us, and it really stuck in our hearts. And I said to him after, God, Sean, you know, I was going to try and get into your shoes today, but it's going to be very difficult after what you've said, you know. So for Sean, it's his view as well, Sean.
Well, I think all hurling people would be delighted that John and George O'Connor are All-Ireland champions and have All-Ireland medals tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, the O'Connor brothers.
Thank you, Marty. Yes, well done to the O'Connors. I've got Tom Dempsey with me here now. Now, you began, as we all know, playing for Wexford in the 30s. Did you ever think you'd get this far?
I nearly began before Tony Dorn and Mick Butler, so I'm there a good while now, Jerry, yeah.
What about that goal? Terrific goal after 19.5 minutes.
Well, I suppose it was a bit fortunate, really. I put a bit of a spin on the ball, you know. I always find if you put a spin on the ball, it'll...
How do you put a spin on the ball?
you kind of hit it on the outside of it, on the rim, you know. And it'll always wrong foot the goalkeeper, you know.
Did you mean it?
No.
Tell me about this prank you played on poor Larry Murphy. I've heard about this particular prank. Did you ring him up pretending to be a reporter, looking for an exclusive?
No, I'd never ring Larry. Larry give an exclusive to anybody, really, you know. But I think Larry's exclusively Deirdre's at the moment, so... But no, I just like to say that it's great to be standing here on, you know, on All-Ireland night. I never really thought that I would be standing here, and I'd like to say just that for two people in particular, Eamon Scallon and Sean Flood, you know, Sean has been a great help to me. I'm not trying to be kind of sentimental about it, but...
Yes, you are.
Well, yeah. But
no, I agree with you.
All through the year, Sean has been a help. The two of us were kind of usually at the back of the pack running around the field during the year, and he used to keep me going. And it was probably one of the saddest things that I've come across, that Sean wasn't playing today. And, you know, for Eamon and myself, for Griffin is always on to us about being the two fellas that don't go in as hard as the rest. So I think Eamon disproved that theory today anyway.
It was an all-round team performance. Well done to everybody. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you very much, Ger. Well, indeed, many times over the last 12 months when I met Larry Murphy, he was always telling me one thing: I'm the man who has made Tom Dempsey the man he is today. Is that true, Larry?
I met Tom's career, you know. I carried him on. I've a lump in my back from carrying him all around the year, you know. And he's a heavy man. He's a heavy man.
This was unbelievable, really, because 12 months ago, indeed, we've spoken many times in recent weeks. It was hard to believe that Wexford would be here in the first place.
I still don't believe it. It's words can't express what it means to people in Wexford, to people sitting at home, old people. Yesterday I was walking down through the town and I met a man who's been at every Wexford match since, I think it was in the 1950s, and he has pictures of the 68 team and the 54 and 55 team, and the man is dying of cancer. And I met him, and I was just down at her neighbour's house, and she brought me in to say hello to him, and the poor man was in tears. He wasn't able to say a word to me. So for the likes of those people, that's what I mean. That's what it's all about.
I've often said about you in the past that when you get that sliotar into your hand or into the hurley, off you go, head down. There's only one way you know where to go.
I don't know about that. God, yeah, dropping it as well, yeah. God gifted me with a bit of speed, and Liam was always, and everyone's told me to use your strengths, and my strength is speed, so maybe it's a flaw, maybe it's an attribute, but I just put down the head and run.
Well, Larry Murphy, the man who scored the opening point in the 1996 All-Ireland Hurling Final.
Yes, indeed, and from one Larry to another, this is Larry O'Gorman. Was it the greatest day of your life?
Certainly was, yeah. I'm really proud of myself, and I'm proud of my family, and proud of all the support that we had out there today. It was the time Eamon Scallon got sent off, and the supporters got really behind us. It was like having an extra man there with the crowd supporting us all the way.
I like your shoes. Can we get a shot of this one here? What happened?
There's a little man called Liam Dunn. He pulled across my toe halfway through the first half, and he tried to get me to slow down a bit, so, you know. But it was an accidental smack on the toe, and he bruised it up a small bit on me.
What does this mean for Wexford?
It's a dream come true, isn't it, really? We've tried so hard for so long, and it's like hammering at a big rock, and eventually that rock will break, and thank God that rock cracked today, and we're All-Ireland champions.
Well, you're no longer a bridesmaid. You can enjoy the honeymoon. Thanks, Larry.
Thanks a million. Cheers.
Indeed, many people would reckon that the reason for this success at All-Ireland level for Wexford is the introduction of so many up-and-coming young players. One, of course, is Rory McCarthy. Rory, I heard that you are the biggest hit in Wexford with the women.
Probably the biggest problem is most of the girls are only 10, 11 years of age, so I mean, they're not much good to me, so... I think that's only a rumour anyway. I don't know where they got it out of.
It's been a fantastic year. Do you attribute everything to Liam Griffin and his fellow selectors?
And as Liam said to us, I mean, it's not just one thing, it's a combination of 1,000 small things. I mean, we've worked on every aspect of our game this year, and I mean, today we proved, we knew ourselves that we were the best team in the land, and today we proved it.
Did you feel nervous before the start?
I'd say I've never in all my life felt as calm going out on a hurling pitch. I mean, he had us all feeling the same way. We were joking in the dressing room before we went out, so I mean, we went out in perfect attitude, mentally prepared well, so I mean, we were all very calm.
When I interviewed you after the All-Ireland semi-final, you said, you know, I never thought that I'd be playing an All-Ireland senior final. When the final whistle went today, just can you describe for me exactly what went through your mind?
No, I mean, it's every boyhood dream, I mean, to play in an All-Ireland senior hurling final. I mean, on top of that, then when you win, I mean, it's just magic, really. I just looked up at the hill the second final whistle went, and there was a big smile on my face. I looked up at all the lads up there. I mean, all the lads from home were up there, so I just punched the air when I saw them up there.
Well, all the 10 and 11-year-old girls can now go to bed because this is the end of the interview with Rory McCarthy. Ladies and gentlemen, that's for the moment from Malahide. We go straight back to the studio and Michael Lester.
All right, Marty, thank you very much indeed. We will be back there very shortly again for the presentation of the man of the match. Before we do that, we have some more phone call reaction. Now, obviously, I suppose it's been a rough enough day for Limerick, but nonetheless, there is one large piece of criticism coming in our phone calls. Hundreds, indeed thousands of phone calls are complaining about the fact that the Limerick team broke away from the parade at the start of the match. Connie Lynch, who rang from Cavan, said that he went to the match today as a neutral supporter, but he became a Wexford supporter very, very quickly after the terrible behaviour of the Limerick team. Now, that's a view that is shared by Sean Ryan in Tipperary, Tom Shannon in Mayo, Raymond McKevitt in Tala, Catherine Murphy in Wexford, Joe Sullivan in Dingle, Paddy Redmond in Artane, Mike Murphy in Kerry, Pat Kearns in Kilkenny, David Flynn in Cork. It goes on and on and on. Also, we have a phone call or two from John O'Donovan, for example, in County Cork, who is disgusted that the championship sponsors had their logo on the ribbons on the McCarthy Cup, which reflects the commercial side that has entered into the amateur code. Well, that's a reality of it. I think Guinness have brought a lot to this year's hurling championship. A phone call, Cyril Farrell, about why Mike Galligan wasn't brought on. Catherine Cullen from Selbridge wants to know this one. John Tobin from Limerick. Where did Mike Galligan go from being on the team a couple of weeks ago to the wilderness today?
Well, I don't know the mind of the Limerick selectors, but yeah, it will be a question, because Mike would have been very near the first 15. And he is a first-touch hurler that would be capable of, on song, getting a few scores. Now, he hasn't been doing it lately, but most people would think that Mike Galligan would be first sub on for Limerick. Much the same way as when Sean Flood, who would be disappointed they couldn't play, 99% of people would feel that George O'Connor was going to come on for Wexford. Now, that's the feeling. He didn't appear at all. And there will be questions, and there'll be questions asked about taking off the man that scored 4 points. Going back to the breaking up, the psychological warfare started early on. Yeah. But, like, it didn't affect... Like, Limerick broke up early, but Limerick got into a 5-1 lead. Now, if it was the other way around, if Wexford were going to say, well, Limerick got cut out, but, like, you're there to win, and it may not be the best of manners to do, but you're not there for etiquette on an All-Ireland there. You're there to win.
OK, Tomás, you have a point to make about the Mike Galligan thing.
Yes, again, I suppose it would be disappointing from a Limerick point of view that he wasn't introduced today. But again, in the heat of battle, I mean, people will ask the questions, what did they do with the extra man? I mean, the three guys today who are supposed to be the extra man they took off Barry Foley after scoring 4 points. There was a lot of things went wrong on the day, and maybe bringing on Mike Callaghan was a mistake, but we'll never know at this stage.
Sure, we'll never know. It's all over and done with now, except for one thing, Cyril Farrell, the man of the match selection, which has been made by the panel, by Tomas and yourself. Now, Michael Flanagan at Lone says that the 14 Wexford players should get the man of the match today for their sheer brilliance and tenacity. Well, it might not be the 14 Wexford players, but was it one of the Wexford players?
Well, he's probably right in what he says, and if RT had the money, they should be doing that, and to the wise as well. Like, I'd see nothing wrong with it at all, or even have 2 men in the matches. Like, from a Wexford point of view, you had fantastic games, like Colm Keogh had a great game, Medi's name today, you know, all the backs are good. Gary Laffin, very, very good. Midfield, Adrian Finlan, good. Story is always good. Dempsey's getting a new lease of life. He's getting goals every day now that he never got before. But for me, the man of the match, you know, he did it in a quiet way, but he was on Gary Kirby, he held the line the whole time, and pound for pound, he's probably the best hurler in the country. For me, the man of the match today was Liam Dunn. Like, he epitomised the spirit in Wexford, especially near the end. He got the ball. There was no way he was going to pass it up the field and let them come at him. He didn't mind. That's the type of player he is.
OK, Liam Dunn is our man of the match from this year's All-Ireland Hurling Final, and Ger Canning is standing by to talk to Liam and to make that presentation.
Well done, Liam. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's a beautiful piece of Waterford crystal, newly designed. And as well as that, Liam, I have a his and hers watch. Is there a her? There is, okay, well, that's for you as well. And as you know, Guinness have been very generous sponsors and excellent sponsors of the Hurling Championship this year. Would you like to go to the football final as their guests? I'm sure you would. That's for you as well. One question to start with. When are you going to stop scribbling on a certain man's hurley?
Well, to be honest with you, since I started scribbling on his hurley, he started scoring a few points. But, I was going to work on a few of them there over the year. But I was just saying there to one of the reporters, he asked me as well there, and we went into the local school after the county final last year, and all the youngsters were there and they started singing Glory, Glory, Martin Story. So that's sort of where the glory came, to be on the end of his hurl every time, but it's not doing him any harm anyway.
To win an All-Ireland medal, to be the star player and to win man of the match, it must be a terrific day for you.
Well, it's a great honour for me to accept this. There was plenty of stars there today. Everyone was a star, but we had something over Limerick and that nobody knows about. The fact that we went out today and we started with 16 men. And when Eamon unfortunately got sent off, we still had 15 men. Because every ball that every one of our lads hit today, we hit, and Sean Flood was hitting them with us. And so
Indeed, as you know only too well, Eamon and Sean played a very full part all through the championship. You didn't just win it in one game, it was a complete championship win.
No, it's great. From the very start of the year against Kilkenny, but there was another person that hasn't been mentioned that came in to see us 3 weeks before the Kilkenny match, and a lady, a matter of fact. And she's a sport.
She's not getting the watch, is she?
Well, there's going to be Mrs. Dunn next month, so I may give it to her. But maybe she'll settle for a watch instead of the ring, I wonder. But we got Liam and Rory and Seamus and the backroom staff got a lady by the name of Niamh Fitzpatrick, a sports psychologist from Dublin. No one heard very much about her, but she's been an inspiration to all the players. And I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank Liam, Rory, Seamus and all the men, Pat Whitney, our trainer who put us through hell, Sean Collier. But all little things like Rory McCarthy said there. And
it's a long list, I'm sure, and they'll be well thanked by the people of Wexford. Well done. Ladies and gentlemen, the RTE man of the match for the hurling final, Liam Dunn. Well done.
Well, Liam Dunn and Martin Storey made us very welcome during the week when we were down doing our preview stuff in Oulart the Bala, and I'm sure they're all enjoying today, and in particularly Liam Dunn's success with the team. And that's it on the last day of the All-Ireland Hurling Championship. In a fortnight's time, we'll bring you the story of the football final. Let's hope that Mayo and Meath can serve up something similar. We'll show you how things unfold, and a reminder that we have a Sunday game with a bonus next weekend when we bring you coverage of both under-21 finals being played at Semple Stadium in Thurles. Well, that's it from the Sunday game for tonight. My thanks again to Cyril and to Tomás. We close with Jerry again and the happy company of Wexford fans celebrating a well-deserved victory. It's been a long wait, Wexford, but welcome back to the top of the hurling tree.
Well, they certainly are that. Now, as you know, we've had a tradition recently that when we go to the winning hotel, we always finish with a song. And we've got a guy here who missed the final today because of injury. He's kind of like the Maradona of the Slaney. Sean Flood. Purple and gold, Sean. Running on empty, eh?
Oh, the purple and gold, it's a dream I still hold for the men of today and the heroes of old. Oh, the purple and gold, it's my heart and my soul. It is a beauty, I was told, to wear the purple and gold, the purple and gold. It's a dream I was told.
Psychopath Max Cady is up. Were present at the special post-match reception in Dublin today.
Go-for Glory's story was the cry everywhere in the model county in the run-up to yesterday's All-Ireland Senior Hurling Final. And today the popular Wexford captain delivered as he led his team into Dublin's Burlington Hotel for the traditional post-match lunch. But for star Limerick forward Gary Kirby, however, a broken finger on his right hand now means he could be out of action for up to 8 weeks.
It didn't help the situation that I was injured, but having said that, like, we did have our chances that we could have taken the game, but we didn't avail of them, and I suppose credit must go to Wexford for the way they stopped us from playing.
Against two Limerick men. Knocked in there. Larry Murphy's in there challenging Tom Dempsey as well, and it's a goal for Wexford.
The river dance of sport for Wexford hurling played out on your very own field of dreams.
Yeah, it was fantastic. And I mean, I hope all the people in Wexford will have the river dance feeling about themselves tonight. I can't wait to get home. It'll be evening news now, but we're all bursting to get home, to be honest with you, to be with our own people. And I know that the whole county is a sea of purple and gold. And I'm absolutely thrilled for everybody, particularly the kids and all the older people. It's wonderful to be a Wexford man today.
It's unbelievable. I mean, it's starting to sink in how big it is and what the feeling is, and it's starting to sink in. There's only one thing now I'd love to just heading straight down the road to Wexford and meet the people in Wexford. And all accounts of last night, I believe they had a brilliant night down there last night, so tonight will be even better.
It's a fantastic feeling, and it's a feeling I'm going to savour. And last night was a dream come true, and drank very few drinks last night, I have to say, because I just wanted to soak it all up and just enjoy the occasion.
The team was set to leave Dublin shortly after 3:30 today, but not surprisingly, they were way behind schedule. Judging from the mood of their supporters, this is going to be one heck of a long day's journey into night.
And as the McCarthy Cup makes its way back to Wexford, supporters from all over the county are gathering to greet their local heroes.
They've been gathering in their thousands since early afternoon to welcome home the victorious All-Ireland hurling champions. As schools and businesses throughout the county stayed closed today, hurling fever has gripped Wexford and the party is in full swing. Young and old from surrounding villages and towns are lining the homecoming route in anticipation of the big moment when the McCarthy Cup reaches the home soil. As the team make their way down the east coast, Wexford Town, Enniscorthy and Gorey are gearing up for a big night. The purple and gold is everywhere and everyone is determined to join in the victory celebrations. A good vantage point is crucial for tonight's homecoming. And with the countdown on and the team expected to arrive in Gorey within the next hour, the real party is just about to...
Earlier, both teams attended a post-match reception in Dublin.
Go-for Glory's story was the cry everywhere in the model county in the run-up to yesterday's All-Ireland Senior Hurling Final. And today the popular Wexford captain delivered as he led his team into Dublin's Burlington Hotel for the traditional post-match lunch. But for star Limerick forward Gary Kirby, however, a broken finger on his right hand now means he could be out of action for up to 8 weeks.
Knocked in there. Larry Murphy's in there challenging Tom Dempsey as well. And it's a goal for Wexford.
The river dance of sport for Wexford hurling played out on your very own field of dreams.
Ah, yeah, it was fantastic. And I mean, I hope all the people in Wexford will have the river dance feeling about it.
I believe they had a brilliant night down there last night, so tonight will be even better.
It's a fantastic feeling, and it's a feeling I'm going to savour.
The first stop was the town of Gorey.
The Liam McCarthy Cup is back in Wexford again.
Team captain Martin Storey said the welcome was unbelievable.
Well, we had heard coming down that there was going to be a crowd, but we didn't believe it'd be acting like this. I mean, that's unbelievable. I mean, that's what it means to win in All-Ireland for Wexford. I mean, out there, look up there, there must be 20,000 people or more. I don't know how many. But I mean, that's what it's all about. Brilliant.
And as the team made their way by open-top bus to Camolan, Ferns, Enniscorthy and Wexford, the crowds lined the route and the bonfires are blazing.
Meanwhile, thousands of Limerick supporters turned out this evening to welcome the team home despite their defeat, which captain Kieran Carey said had left them absolutely gutted with disappointment.
For the second time in 2 years, the Limerick hurling team has come home without the McCarthy Cup. But nonetheless, a huge volume of supporters turned up to try to spur them on for All-Ireland success in the future. The initial most visible sign of disappointment among the team was their decision, in defeat, not to travel in an open-top bus which had been made available to them, but to travel instead in a convoy of closed coaches through the city centre. According to captain Kieran Carey, there are few words to describe the team mood.
The team is gutted. Like, gutted is the word. Like, you know, they're second All-Ireland losing, and it's hard actually to come back home to this. And you know, we didn't contemplate this. You know, at the end of the day, when you go into a final, you're going to win. And no, we didn't expect coming back here tonight without the cup.
Centre forward Gary Kirby received a broken finger in the first 2 minutes of the game, which undoubtedly affected his scoring ability and which will put him out of further play for up to 8 weeks. Manager Tom Ryan said many aspects of the match were controversial, but denied they would be seeking an inquiry by the GAA authorities.
It's a very, very serious situation to have a goal, you know, and disallowed at that time, at that particular stage of a final. But, you know,